Hi, it's Kate Northrup, and I have been examining what some of the most successful, happiest, most productive entrepreneurial moms I know have been doing to create sustainable success, which to me means growing their business in a way they can imagine doing for years to come with high profits, high productivity, and less stress. So today I want to introduce you to my friend Amber Lilyestrom, who's a brand strategist and business coach over at amberlilyestrom.com. Here we go. Hey, Amber.
Hi.
Thanks for coming to chat with me. So can you talk to me a little bit about what your life was like before you actually started your own business? We'll just go back a little bit further.
Well, in a word, chaos. And I didn't really even know it at the time. And so my life was consumed by my career and my desire to be more all the time. Yet I wasn't really attached or connected to the goals at the end of the tunnel, if you will. So I remember this one day, and I worked in collegiate athletics, marketing specifically. It was a very high impact job. I worked 50 hours a week on average, nights and weekends. And so before becoming a mom, that was okay. And that worked, I guess. But eventually it caught up with me. And I remember this one particular day thinking, what am I actually doing here? And what do I really want to get from this? And the truth was I did not want to be a Division I athletic director, yet I had signed up for an achievement system that was driving me down the pathway for that goal. And so it was a really beautiful awakening for me to reevaluate and make a decision about what I wanted to do for my life. And when I became pregnant, obviously it's the greatest opportunity for us to become clear about who we really are, what it is we really want, what we want as moms to be, and made a decision that I was going to find a way to change this lifestyle, to be more present for the people that I love, to be more present for myself in ways that I never had the opportunity to be before, to really start healing my body because I had had a lot of health issues in my career and really for most of my life as an adolescent. And so I just got really clear about that and started to make some shifts in the direction of launching my own business and doing all of that while also raising a baby at the same time.
My goodness, it's a lot to launch a business and
was a lot.
raise a baby. How old was your daughter when you launched your business?
She was 8 months.
She was 8 months. Okay. So tell me about how you were working out your schedule when you had an 8-month-old at home, and you were also launching a brand new business. Just talk to me about the balance of work and life and what'd you do with your baby and the whole thing.
Well, I think I was so excited about the fact that I had launched my business and that I was no longer working in a job that required me to be away from her so much that I was just sort of like in this haze of total joy and excitement, but also a little dash of panic in the background because it was like, okay, I really need to attract these clients and I need to find the ways and the times. And what I did with my schedule was I just learned how to block it. I learned how to do my work while she was taking naps and use my scheduling tools so that my clients could book in for those tried and true nap hours where she was going to be sleeping, which, you know, some days were better than others.
I'm like, I don't know about tried and true naps.
Yeah, I will say that my child, she is not the best night sleeper, but her naps were always pretty reliable.
That's
and so
awesome.
I think that it was about me tuning into my daughter and really knowing her and what her needs were, and then designing my business from there on what was going to reasonably work. And so I really truly did, for the first 2.5 years of my business, work 2 to 3 hours a day. Every day I would work 2 to 3 hours a day when she was taking a nap. And that was just sort of my commitment to myself, was I was going to do my work while she was sleeping.
And so that sounds like something out of a stock photography image of like, like mompreneur, like, yeah, get it all done during nap time. So I'm wondering, how the heck did you build a 6-figure business in your first year, which I know you did, during nap time? Like how did you do that?
So I think I really got clear about so when I left, I knew what my number was, right? I knew what I needed to make. So there was this mix of having the concrete goals and structures in place to know, okay, this is what I made in my job every month. This is what my paycheck was to go to this job. This is what I have to contribute to my family in order to keep us at the standard of living that we would like to have, and also to, you know, increase and enhance. And I knew what that was. And I think so setting a goal for myself, okay, I want to hit 6 figures in my first year. I really wanted that, right? And I knew how to then reverse engineer. So there was this balance of having the actual numbers to break it down and make it really simple and say, this is what this translates to. This is how many clients I need to be working with at a time. And then looking at my schedule and saying, is that even feasible? And so I just put it all out on paper and just did the math accordingly. And it worked. You know, it really did happen because I was very clear. At the same time, I also knew what it was going to take for me to be able to actually do that, which was connect with like-minded people, lead from a place of who I really was, and bring that forth into my work, and be honest about the fact that it was hard as a mompreneur to do this business while my child was napping, that some days it was a hot mess and some days it was fantastic. Some days she would sleep for 3 hours and I got a bonus hour to do more work, right? And also I think the other thing, Kate, was that I attracted mompreneurs in. And so by being myself, I attracted clients who were like me, or who wanted some of the same things that I did. And so if there was a crazy day where she was on my lap for a little bit of our session, it wasn't the end of the world. Right. I was being real. And I think that also gave them the gift of knowing that they get to be who they are in their businesses too. And that's at the core of the work that I do.
That's really beautiful. So I also know that one of the huge pieces for you has been doing a lot of healing around your body and your own monthly cycle, and using that actually as fuel for your business. So can you talk to me about how you schedule around your cycle and some of the healing that's happened in your business and in your life and your body as a result?
Yeah, so I think that was something that was very foreign to me and very separate from me until very recently. Really, motherhood was sort of the sort of white space that I needed in terms of my cycle. So I had endometriosis, and then I had a baby, and the blessing of that was that it went away. And I know it doesn't happen for everybody, but it did for me, and I was so grateful for that. And it was the first time in my life that I actually had a regular cycle. And so I had never experienced that before. And so it was really mind-blowing to realize that there was actually this divine equation that was going on inside my body and in connection with the moon cycle as well, that was happening every month. And I didn't necessarily notice it at first, but over time I started to recognize that I really don't feel great doing coaching sessions on the first 2 days of my period. And I think what would be best for me and my clients and my business and for my family and everybody would be to just book those days out. And so I actually now had this sort of legend, right, with the map to follow for my life, to go, okay, I'm going to take those days of the month off from coaching. I'll maybe do some work or maybe not, but give myself some space. And so two things happened with that. One, my body had the opportunity to have a little bit more of a release, but also energetically and emotionally, I felt more supported. I felt like I was actually supporting myself and allowing myself to be my best self in my work. And so that was just such a magical awakening. And then in the same breath, it's made my cycle just more in balance, I think, throughout the whole process, because I can see when my energy is higher and when I feel really good, and when my body is, I feel a little leaner, I feel a little, right? You just feel your body changes throughout the course of the month. And so I'm actually tuned into noticing that now and trying to book, okay, I'll go do a launch at this particular time of the month, because that I'm going to feel like I have more energy. I'm going to feel more rested, a little bit more vibrant. And it's just been this beautiful sort of flow that's just kind of naturally happened for me.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
I love it. So what specific results have you noticed in your business as you have incorporated tuning into your body, your monthly cycle, however your body feels, as kind of a business organizing strategy?
Well, at the start of the year, I really got serious about this, right? And really started mapping it into the calendar and was looking ahead at the months and using an app to actually track and all that. And I'm so overjoyed to share. And I just had this realization the other day that my 2017 revenue so far, as the first quarter, is $10,000 more than I was making in my corporate job the last year that I was there annually.
Wow.
So that's just bananas. It's more than half of what my revenue was last year already in quarter one. And so that's just wildly exciting.
That's really exciting. Yeah. That's pretty big.
It's a big deal.
So you've really gotten into sort of a sweet momentum.
Yeah. So of course it's the revenue piece, but obviously the revenue doesn't just come, that's the result of that momentum, right? Of having more collaborations and more connections. And I think my writing is so much more spot on now, and it's attracting in the right clients. I've shifted some of the offerings in my programs to really create coaching that feels more aligned with how I really want to support women and how I can best support them. So I've had more spaciousness to really meet my clients where they are, because in fully supporting myself, I can fully support them.
Boom. That was a good one.
That's it.
And then as a result of listening more to your body, tuning into your cycle, how have things in your life shifted around your mothering, your marriage, your health?
Yeah, I think overall I just feel so much more relaxed. Over the course of the last, so I think almost 2 years, we moved. And that was a big thing for us because we lived in a home that had no trees. There were no trees. And I grew up with nature. I grew up in the woods. And so to live in a place and have that realization, we live somewhere where there are absolutely no trees and just homes, felt so out of body for me. And so we tapped into, we want to live somewhere where there's more nature, where we can really raise our daughter barefoot and carefree and allowing her to just have her own adventures. And so we moved into our dream house. We live on a lake. We have trees everywhere. We have otters and loons and bald eagles and all kinds of animals all the time. You look out the window and it's like, quick, come over here.
Wow.
And so it's so exciting because we now have it's brought this whole other component to our life. Like the nature in our world is like a character that is part of our life. And so, I go out and I stand in the grass when there's a full moon and I ground myself there. We put our crystals outside and give them the full moon bath, and we bring Ani out and talk to them. We just do all these kind of silly things, but they're so powerful for us. And we feel like we're in a physical space that really supports that and allows that, and makes more space for us to tap in that particular way. I think our marriage, we just feel more connected. We're more free to be who we really are in that way. We can be more intimate with each other in so many different ways. And I feel that even my daughter's stress and anxiety and just her own little vibration has just sort of relaxed as well. And so as a mom, school's gotten easier for her, and she's in preschool. She's really little, which also that was a thing that I didn't have before, right? So this is the first time in my business.
Yeah.
Now I have a child that is going and getting some childcare time. So I have 3 days a week to work in my business. So that has helped as well. But it's all about this natural flow of us just sort of releasing and making space for what is natural to us.
That's really beautiful.
Yeah.
So where do you see yourself moving forward with kind of your body by your side as a business partner or as a business guide? Where do you see yourself, in the future with this?
I think that this conversation becomes part of my book. That has been this thing that I've been working on sort of in the background for a couple of years now. But I feel more ready than ever to tell some of those stories, because that was a component that felt sort of outside of me. And now it feels in a beautiful simpatico and alignment. I think the other piece is, as we talked about before, is conceiving our second child and growing our family. And that is something that my body needs to be all on board with, right? It's mind, body, spirit, and I feel more ready to do that than ever.
Awesome. Is there anything else that you want to share?
I think, Kate, it's just that, the gifts are right here. They're within us. The answers are within us. And when I allowed myself to slow down and to get really clear about what it is that I wanted for my life and what it would mean and what it would look like to come home to who I really am, which means being in this physical body, my sacred opportunity to be here, it transformed everything in my life, from my bank account, to my business, to my marriage, to the way that I'm raising my daughter. And it's just made life so much more fun and fulfilling.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much for watching. And if you found Amber's story inspiring, I would love to share with you a free workshop that I'm teaching starting May 9th. And you can go learn more at sustainablesuccessworkshop.com. In that workshop, I'm going to be sharing some key strategies like Amber's been incorporating into her business about listening to your body, listening to your cycle, all kinds of things that you can do to be more productive with less stress so you can create sustainable success. So again, go to sustainablesuccessworkshop.com and I'll see you May 9th.